Hello, 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 gorgeous ones. Yes, I am in my car today as it is Friday. It is Friday, December 3rd, the first Friday of the month. And I wanted to hop on to share because it is Friday. For those of you who are new to me and know anything about our planets, Fridays are ruled by Venus energy. And Venus is all about relationships with ourselves, love, and money. Now that we got that out of the way, gonna dive into it a little more, involved more deeply. But before I do, I'd like to introduce myself because I am streaming. Love the streaming on multiple platforms. Saves a lot of time. So anyway, want to just introduce myself, Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. Yes, yes. I'm also the owner of Holistic Fitness, located in Queens, New York, which I'm obviously not there today. It's my day off. But I always want to find time to come on and share insight with you regarding what's going on and how to use this amazing energy for your most highest good and to be aligned with it so you can, shall we say, manifest the things you wish to manifest and be aligned to what is yours, based on your contracts and everything you made the intention, set the intentions on having in this lifetime, even before you were born. So when we think about Venus energy and thinking about it, it's literally 24 days before a new moon. So my question to you I like to pose is, how do you honor yourself? How do you honor yourself? Today is a great example to spend time with you, loving on you, and becoming more comfortable with spending time with yourself. Interesting story, and I won't share the whole story, but yesterday I was working with a client of mine, and something in his session in regards to one of his chakras that I was working on with him brought up some insight regarding him having a challenging time, in fact, having anxiety over the holiday season. And this is the first holiday season that he's actually not in a relationship with somebody else, an intimate relationship, that is. And he's having a bit of a challenging time with that. And I had asked him as I tapped into his heart and also his sacral chakra, and I asked him, why is he not embracing this opportunities to spend time with himself? And he paused, and I asked him just to take a minute to reflect on that, and he did. And what came up for him was that he's not very comfortable spending time with himself. So, of course, in his session, him and I worked on that to help him clear some of that energy, see where that energy came from, and cleared away what needed to be cleared so he can move forward into feeling comfortable with being with himself. Now I ask, because it came up for him, big question for you. Are you comfortable spending time with yourself? Are you comfortable just sitting and just being in your own space, your own energy, your own thoughts? That's a really good thing to reflect on for today, considering, after all, it is Friday, Venus Day, ruled by Venus, love Venus energy. When we think of Venus energy, again, it's all about the love, the relationships, and also relationship with money, which I want to turn over the energy onto that for just a moment, especially for those of you who are entrepreneurs, own your own business, and just the general population. We all deal with money every single day, whether we're going to the store to get groceries or buying something for ourselves, or even going to work and working the hours we work, whether we're working for ourselves or we're working for a company. What is your relationship with money? How do you feel about money? Are you confident enough to, if you happen to work for somebody, are you confident enough to speak to your boss and ask for a raise when you feel as though it's time for one? If in fact, if it's not already presented by your boss? Or do you continue working at the same salary, but yet doing more? Because that's usually what happens. Every year, or every so many months, the average employer rather, ends up getting more work to do, but yet keeps the same pay. And that always sort of boggled my brain in reference to why would anyone do more work, but yet not sit and ask their boss for a raise. And I've actually worked with clients who've had that exact experience and dug into their wounds, shall we say, to see where that energy came from. Because there's a lot of us out there, and I use the word us because at one time or another, I was the same way. And hello to those who are popping in. Unfortunately, I am not able to see who's on my Facebook page right now because I'm actually on my phone, but I do appreciate that you are here. Please leave your comments. Let me know in regards to what I'm actually speaking about right now regarding money, what your relationship is with money, how you feel about money, and does money make you excited or does money make you stressed and anxious? Because those two words, stressed and anxious, says a lot about your relationship with money. So let's go back to what I was just saying about a client that I had this conversation with, and we tapped into her wounds to see where this particular energy started from. And once we really dug deeper, we realized where it started from, and she and I, as I had her permission to do, worked on clearing that energy. And I would say now it's about 3 months since we've done that work. And since we've done that work, she has actually come back to me just the other day, and I see you on a regular basis, but we don't always talk about the same topics every time we see each other. She had actually told me that she sat down with her boss and asked her boss, or should I say tell her boss, that as long as she's going to be continuing to do the extra work that she's doing, she would like a raise. And her boss said to her, of course, definitely. Let's sit down, evaluate, and see what kind of raise I can give you. And she was very pleased with the outcome. And when she came back to me a week ago telling me this, she was excited that she really felt that the work that was done, the energy work that we did together, really helped her become more confident and more open to feeling worthy enough of being paid more. Now, excuse me, just a personal story, which about myself, I'd say about 2 years ago, I too did some work on clearing some energy regarding feeling worthy enough of charging more. And it wasn't so much about worthiness as much as it was a past life experience that I had. And I've shared your story several times before, where I was born in a family of a queen and king. I don't know what exact title that made me. I forget exactly. And I would do healing work out in the field. And out in the field to the right of me was this huge basket. And that's where the money sat. So there was a huge line of people that would await for my services. So after I finished working with each person, they would take the money and place it into the basket. And then the next person would come. I'd clear the energy, and the next person would come. And by the time I was done doing what I was doing for my day, someone would come over and pick up the basket and take it away. So theoretically, energetically, in my psyche, yes, I was working, I was doing my healing work, but I never actually physically got to hold the money. It didn't even go into my hands. It went to a basket, and then someone else came and picked that basket up and took it away. So the person whom I did this work with asked me how I would have liked that situation to go as opposed to the way it went. And I shared my insight to how I saw it going, that I would have liked it to go. And we sort of cleared the energy of what it was. And I started visualizing it the way I wanted, the way I would have wanted it. And since doing that work, I've been able to shift my energy and have a better relationship with money overall, personally and professionally. And that's when we think about Friday Venus Day, if you are someone who struggles with money, whether it's about feeling worthy enough to have money, feeling confident enough to ask for money, and also for that matter, if you're somebody who's looking to move forward in whatever it is you're doing, you're an author, you're a publisher, you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to share your stories, and you want to get in front of bigger audience, newer audience, whatever have you, that might involve an investment. And you might have to really sit down and value and evaluate what it is you're looking to do, and what kind of investment are you willing to make on yourself, for yourself, when stepping into these new endeavors, shall we say. Because again, when we think about Friday's energy, Friday's an opportunity for you to reflect and start shifting things. So by the time you move it back into Monday again, you can have a different mindset to how you feel about your whole relationship with yourself, confidence-wise, and also the relationship with money. Because especially if you are an entrepreneur, and even if you're not, you're working for someone, it's always a really great idea to take time to evaluate yourself and see how you can shift things. So when the following week comes in and you go back to work, whether you're working for somebody or you're working for yourself, you come in as a different version of you, and perhaps things could be very different for you in the way you do what you do. And I also want to point out, as I said earlier, we are literally 24 hours away from new moon energy. Now, that itself can be very helpful for this particular Friday. Now, of course, every Friday we don't have a new moon's energy, so this is what makes this so special and different, is that you can actually take time tonight, and I would recommend tonight, considering the new moon's energy is on Saturday, take time tonight, pen to paper, and write down anywhere between 5 to 10 things regarding relationships, regarding your contracts, regarding relationship with money, on what you would like to shift and see different for you, and what you would like to really clear out. So on 2 different pieces of paper, one piece of paper on the very top, you're going to write down, I am ready to release. And write down whatever you're ready to release when it comes to relationships with money and also other people. And when I say release, it could be the matter of just releasing the tension, releasing the expectation, releasing the frustration, releasing whatever it is, especially if it is a business partner. Now, when I use the word business partner, doesn't mean you actually have a business partner per se, but every client that you work with is actually a business partner. They are your partner at that time while you're working with them. So whatever is going on between you and that client, if you want to see it differently, put on that list what you would like to release from that contract, and on the second list, the things you're looking to bring in. So if you want to, let's say, raise your rates for your clients, and in your mind, you believe that your client cannot afford your new rates. Now, mindset, again, this is your mindset. You have absolutely no idea what your client can or cannot afford. And believe it or not, it's not even your business to know what they can or cannot afford. I truly believe, and one of the things I've learned over time is when somebody really wants something, they can afford it, because they always find a way. When they really want something, they can afford it, no matter what the dollar amount is. So again, if you're charging $1,000 for a service and that person really wants it, guess what? They're going to hand you over $1,000. Now, the big question is, if they don't really want it, then they're not going to see value in what you are charging. So no matter whether you're charging $1 for that service or $1,000 for that service, if they themselves do not see value in themselves, they are not going to see value in what it is you are offering. And that's really the big lesson here, is to understand that it's about valuing you. So using this new moon's energy to help you clear out what doesn't serve your relationships. And when I use the word relationships, yes, I'm speaking about your professional relationships with all your clients, which again are your partners, and also your personal relationships. The different people you come in contact with in regards to helping you to raise your confidence, helping you to raise your value, helping you to raise your self-esteem, so you can feel really good in your relationships. Because again, I mean, theoretically, how many times in your day do you come across relationships where you feel a little uncomfortable, whether it's because you're intimidated, they're too powerful in your mind, you just don't feel like you're strong enough or confident to withstand being balanced with this person. So this is a great day to utilize this new moon's energy to help you release what doesn't serve you and make space for the things that do serve you. But a lot of this is about the work that you need to do for you so you can be in alignment for this. One thing for sure, you always want to be mindful that anything you're looking to shift must come from you. You must be ready to shift the energy so you can transition to what it is you desire. We all have deep desires, and many of our desires really come from our higher self. So, for example, if you are desiring to be paid a lot more than you're being paid, then your higher self knows you can be, but it's the work you need to do to shift your human energy, your human mindset, so you can attract that actual dollar amount. And it's all about really doing the work, the internal work, the transitioning, the shifting, the clearing out. And sometimes, more often than none, the work that we need to do, we cannot always do on our own. Because as humans, we are going to only go but so deep into where the issue sits that if you have to go a little deeper to the point of uncomfortability, as humans, we're not going to do that by ourselves. We're going to stop because we really do not want to be uncomfortable. We do not want to be uncomfortable. Very strange analogy coming up that I'm going to share. And unfortunately, for the men out there, you might not be able to relate to this because based on the situation. But think of it as a woman in labor and pushing out the baby. Now, of course, there's a point where there's going to be so much discomfort there that the woman is not going to want to do it because it's too much pain, which is where she gets the support from a spouse and also the doctors or whomever it is that's with her at the time that she's giving birth, where they're actually telling her to breathe, and push. She's got that support. And it's the same thing when we think about going a little deeper into wherever the issue is and how far down it sits in our wound, whether it's from our inner child experience of different things we've heard adults saying. You know, you might have witnessed or listened to your parents speaking about money and what a struggle it was, or you might have seen one of your parents or a relative having to work really, really, really hard where they were never home just to make money. And your mindset is, well, I don't want to have to work that hard that I'm never home just to make money. So right off the back, that's a negative energy, which then creates this whole process in your mind that I have to work really, really hard and never be home just to make money. Who on earth wants to do that? No one. But that's something that can be cleared depending on your mindset and how you want to work on that. So that's where I come in reference to helping you go a little deeper than you would go on your own. And I truly believe we all need a little support. We all need someone else to help us get to where we need to go and go a little deeper into the root, so to speak, and work on cutting the root. Now, theoretically, you can only cut the root but so close to the root. I mean, to really get really below it is almost, not going to even use the word impossible because everything is possible, but really getting to that point of digging. Now, again, depending on your contract that you signed before being born, and I might be going a little deep here, this might be something that's an ongoing learning experience for you, that when you do cut that root as deep as you can, another layer may come up because that's helping you vibrate to a higher frequency for yourself regarding your relationship with, again, people and also money. And when we think of this Venus energy and literally 24 hours away from this amazing new moon, you can use those two energies together today to help you clear out, or at least start setting the intention to clear out a money issue. Now, let's talk chakras for just a second, because when we think about money issues and we think about our whole psyche and mindset, these chakras associated with our money mindset are the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is all about feeling worthy, having confidence, and recognizing that you have unlimited possibilities once you do this work. And then let's drop down into the sacral energy, because the sacral energy is associated with your inner child and everything and anything that took place from the age of 0 to 7, those impressionable years where you were listening, even when in your mom's womb, you were taking on energies that might not necessarily be yours. So between the solar plexus and the sacral energy, those two energies together, clearing energy from that. And let's take it one more notch. Let's take it down to the root chakra, where we can literally become more grounded, feeling more supported, and recognize that you do have support. You do not have to do this work alone. And nor should you do this work alone. Like I said before, I myself never do any of the work that I do by myself. I always call on support. Now, even when working with my clients, I do not do this alone. I call on support. I call on my angels. I call on my guides. I call on specific archangels that's going to help me help my clients. And then I also ask my clients to call on additional support as well, so they too can feel supported in this process that we're literally going to go a little deeper than we've gone before. And each session is going a little deeper. So this way here, every time the client leaves my area, whether they're literally on site with me or we're working virtually, when we separate after that session is over, my intention, my mission, my purpose is to make sure that client has cleared some energy so that they can fall in love with themselves. And upon falling in love with themselves, they fall in love with relationships with other people, and they also fall in love with money. And yes, money is always going to be a topic, because unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunately or fortunately, we live in a society where everything is about money. You cannot do anything without money. In order to go to the store to buy a cup of coffee, you got to spend money. In order to look nice at an interview, you have to dress nicely, which means you might have to go out and buy a new blouse, a new shirt, whatever it might be. Everything is money. If you are looking to expand yourself in your industry, you're looking to get in front of a different set of eyes, you want different people to see what you're doing, you have to invest in you. You have to invest in what you're doing, which then means you might very well have to invest. For example, this year alone, I have invested in doing some writing. So I write a monthly article that, yes, I pay for. And then I'm also a columnist in another magazine, which is a service that I offer complimentary. So I offer this service. And then a few times this year, I've actually done some articles in some other magazines where I've invested in. I've invested on being on some podcasts. I've invested on collaboration books. So there's an investment behind. Just this last month, I've invested in these 2 companies where my business is now on a directory, and more people can find me. And it's all about investment. It's all about investment. But about 3-4 years ago, I would never have done this. Why? Because the first thing on my mind would have been, oh my God, that I have to pay for that. How am I going to do that? Now I don't do that anymore. Now I do not question it. Now I right away, okay, commit, ready to go. Because it's an investment that I make on myself, an investment that I make on being in front of different people. Now, again, as an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to invest. If you want people to invest in you, so for somebody who's written a book and you want to sell your book, but you're not selling your book. How do you expect to sell your book if you're not telling your story? And where do you tell your story? I mean, yes, you could get on Facebook and do Facebook Lives and talk about your book there, but you want call to action. You want to know that there's going to be people at the end of that conversation who's going to raise their hand and say, hey, where can I buy your book? So this way here, your book starts to sell. And that's the investment on yourself. So the next time an opportunity rings your phone, rings your email, rings your text, without hesitation, I want you to say yes. I want you to say yes. And do not stress over the investments. Do not stress over the investment. Sit back and ask yourself, what dollar amount would you want to, what dollar amount are you investing on yourself? Because that's what this is all about. Investing on yourself. And when we have Venus energy on Fridays, this is a great day to really evaluate, reflect, review, and release. Release the energies that do not match you. So if you are saying no to every opportunity that's knocking on your door, how are you really investing in you? And that's really the big question. How are you valuing you? How are you taking care of you? Because you are your service. You are your service. How you show up is how your service is going to expand. So you have to be willing to invest on yourself. You have to be willing to say yes more than say no. And yes, I mean, let's be honest here. I do not say yes to every opportunity. Definitely not. There are some opportunities I just sit back and say, that's not something I want to do this time around. Might be something down the road, but not now. So I say no. But there's a lot of opportunities that I've said yes to. And it's there to help me expand. And it's not necessarily about how that opportunity is going to make me more money. That's not what it's always about. The opportunity is there so you can gain confidence, so you can share what you do, and so you can get in front of so many more people. It's not always about, well, if I do this, am I going to make money back from it? If your attitude is about that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Yes, grant you, the bigger idea is that you want to make money. I mean, of course, we all want to make money because we all have bills to pay. But that is not the reason that you are investing in you. You're investing in you because you want to be able to share your story. You want people to know who you are. You want to raise your confidence. And the only way you're raising your confidence is when you're standing in front of people and sharing your story and making an impact. And in the long run, that's where you're going to make money. So if you are sitting here expecting to sell whatever product you are, if you are sitting there looking to sell it immediately on your first attempt, chances are that's not going to happen. You're going to have to work a little bit. So for example, and then I'm going to come to an end on my conversation here. For example, if you are investing in yourself and you are looking to, let's say, write an article for a magazine, you may want to write a few articles for that magazine over a period of time. Because when a person is reading a magazine, they read your article the first time, that's great. Now, let's say that magazine comes out every month. The following month when it comes out, if your article is not in that magazine, they're not going to remember you. Now, let's say your article they read that article, they're like, oh, that's right, she was in this article last month. That was a great article. I like this article. And now they start looking for your article every month. So let's say the third one comes in, your article's there. The fourth month, it's there. By maybe the fifth month, they might very well be reaching out to you for whatever your service is. And that's really how it works. The consistency of advertising, the consistency of marketing, consistency of showing up. And by doing that, you're also building your confidence because you are, whether it's writing, speaking, whatever it is, you are building up your confidence and you are starting to really, truly fall in love with you. And that is the key here. So again, what I want to leave you with for today, because again, Friday, Venus energy, love, relationships, and money. And 24 hours away from this amazing new moon that we have coming in, I really want you to benefit from this new moon's energy. It's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about who we are on a spiritual level. It's also about the energy that's traveling through. It's the ninth house energy. The nine is all about surrendering, letting go, clearing away, and transforming. So as you surrender, as you let go, as you clear away, all those things that may no longer serve this new version of who you see yourself now, considering I've been streaming for a little while, the version you were when you first watched this right now is a very different version of yourself from before. So when we think about that, you now have a different point of view and different mindset to the mindset you had before watching me today. So I want you just to take this nine energy and surrender all the expectations that you have regarding not being able to do something, and let that go and shift that mindset. And perhaps, let's say, maybe yesterday or the day before, or maybe even Monday for that matter, you were presented with an opportunity, but you shut it down. You said to them, no, I can't do that. And maybe your reason was that it was not in your budget, even if you don't have a budget. And maybe today you might want to reflect on that and really sit and ask yourself, how would this particular service help me expand and raise my confidence and get me in front of a different set of eyes? Whether it's a speaking engagement, whether you're writing something, whether you're doing an ad, whatever it is that you might be doing, and that maybe that particular service might be a service you might want to reach back out at that person and say to them, you know what? I've been doing some reflecting, and I think it's a really great opportunity for me to take advantage of that service that you offered. Is it still available? And chances are probably still will be. And if it's not, perhaps they can work something else out with you for it to be available. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do today. So if you were presented an opportunity sometime in the last 7 days, and you said no to it due to whatever the reasons were, I want you to really think about it. I want you to take some time to reflect on it, and I want you to visualize in your third eye how that particular situation will help you expand on yourself in regards to your self-confidence, your empowerment, you're feeling worthy, you're feeling successful, you're feeling more fame, and literally allowing yourself to be just that and pushing through whatever low vibration may show up, and then see how this particular service that you're going to commit to over a period of time will actually enhance what it is you're doing, and then you'll start to get clients from it. So visualize it that way. And then once you can see it, reach out to whomever it was who offered you the opportunity and see if you can sign up for that opportunity. And my suggestion would be to do that by Monday. So do the reflecting today, do the journaling today, use the new moon's energy that's tomorrow to set out all your new moon intentions. New, meaning all new things coming in, letting go of anything that doesn't serve this new version of you, because as you set into this energy, you're a different version of yourself. You're not that same version that said no to an opportunity last week, because this new version of you is probably going to start to say yes more frequently than no. And this allows you to really fall in love with yourself. And by falling in love with yourself and raising your expectations about you, showing up feeling more confident, showing up being more powerful, just showing up is key. And by you showing up, that alone is going to change your energy in regards to the connections you have with different people, and even more importantly, with money. So I would love to know how this all landed with you for today, what resonated, what triggered you, because I'm sure there might have been something I said that could have triggered you. And if it did trigger you, that's an opportunity for you to work on you today. Because anytime something triggers, it's almost like a little pinch saying, something needs your attention. So use today's energy to work on yourself. Because after all, it's Friday, Venus Day. It's a day to love on you and to love even more deeply on yourself than you've done before. And a day to really evaluate the relationship you do have with money. And because, again, we are literally 24 hours away from a new moon, let's use this new moon's energy to help you set some new moon intentions and create a really great relationship with yourself and all of your contracts, all of your partnerships, whether it's clients, whether you actually have a partner in business, you have an intimate partner, you have children, your siblings, your parents, your friends, whatever those partnerships are. Because by doing this work and really working on you, all the external partnerships start to heal as well, especially with money. Okay, so with all that being said, I was going to do a card share in reference to helping clear a chakra for today, and I think I have about another 5 or so minutes to throw in a card. So let me shuffle up the card. And the question we're going to be asking for today is, how can Venus energy and this new moon help us have a better relationship with ourselves and money? So what we're going to find out here is what chakra you would need to work on today to clear, what affirmation you can use to raise your vibration, and also that affirmation will end your story, and what number is going to provide a hidden message, and also how that number is associated with astrology. So let's see what we have going on here. So close your eyes as I'm shuffling, as my cards are flying all over the place. Just take a breath, and let's see what's showing up. Interesting card for today. Clarity. I think that is so appropriate for today. Clarity. How can you gain clarity today on working with Venus energy and using this new moon to help you set up some new intentions for your relationship? The chakra is the heart chakra. It's the high heart. It's more about compassion and understanding and kindness and allowing yourself to have that for you. Be more compassionate to yourself. Be more kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Because as you are that to yourself, you will then be able to be that for others, and others will be that for you. 2 and 9, which is an 11th energy, which is really about mastering your relationships when we think about it. That's exactly what 2 and 9 is the master healer of relationship. So 2, when we think about it in regards to astrology, that's Taurus energy, which is about our relationships, our partnerships, how we value our relationships, our partnerships, how we value money. And like we've been talking about this entire time, what do you feel about money? Does money make you excited, or does money make you anxious? That 9 energy, which is associated with Sagittarius, all about our spiritual awakening, our spiritual journey that we are here to do. Also learning how to let go of things that no longer serve you. Every single day, you become a different version of you. So you need to learn to let go of the version of you that no longer exists. And the version, the habits, the beliefs, the patterns, the mindset that matches the old version no longer matches the new version. So that's your cards for today, clarity. How can you gain clarity today using Venus energy, using this new moon, and allowing yourself to spend time with pen and paper, writing down everything you want to release that doesn't serve this new version of you, meaning your mindset, your habits, your patterns, and your beliefs. They may no longer serve you. And then on another sheet of paper, all the things you want to bring in with this new moon and why bringing in these things are important to you. How is it going to benefit you, and how is it going to benefit others? So that's your homework. That's your card. That's your chakra. So work on some pink energy today. Work on the high heart of compassion. And I would love to hear from you. Feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. gmail.com. Have an awesome day. For those watching on my personal Facebook page, feel free to leave your comments below. Those watching on my YouTube channel, if you have not already, click that like button and subscribe. And those of you watching on my Twitter, do whatever it is you do on Twitter, because I'm still very new and still learning about that site in itself. Have a blessed day, enjoy Venus Day, and happy new moon. I will be on tomorrow night at some point to talk about this new moon energy, or maybe even later for that matter, to talk about this new moon's energy and how to benefit from it. And keeping in mind, this new moon is our last new moon of 2021, and it's also packed up in a solar eclipse. So that means this energy is going to be quite intensive. So I want you to benefit from it for your most highest good and use it for your most highest good. With all that being said, again, I would love to answer any questions you may have. I would love to know your comments. I would love to know how this resonated with you. Feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. And if, for whatever the reasons are, you are looking for support, you need someone to really help you go a little deeper than usual in some of the work that you need to do because you realize you cannot do it for yourself, and I am resonating with you, feel free to let me know. I do offer amazing, amazing services. I currently have my self-growth discovery sessions on a holiday special right now. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, put that in the email and we'll chat and see if we're a good fit for one another. You have an awesome day. Until next time, bye-bye for now.